everyone. My name is Stephen Corcoran. Thank you for coming today. Thanks, Glenn, for coming all the way to talk to us, because there's a lot of misinformation and stuff getting around about what's happening with this current inquiry that the Senator's holding. Glenn will be able to tell you all about that and answer any questions. So if you want to catch up with him at the end, he's going to give us some time. And also Graham Perrott, he's the local member, federal member for Moreton. He's also come on to support us, which is very nice. Today is Blue Singlet Day, in recognition of Justin Hunter, who was killed driving trucks, and today's his birthday. So I'm wearing a blue singlet as part of that. If anyone can go into the Blue Singlet Day page and possibly send his mum a nice message and to his family. The 18th of January saw 13 more drivers' names added to the Truck Drivers Memorial Wall in Tasmania, which is pretty sad. And just a reminder that the Truck Drivers Reunion's on from the 27th to the 31st of August this year for 4 days. 10,000 truckies going to be there, so put in your diary. It's important that we make it all happen up there in Alice Springs. David Sweeney's here. He's a truckie owner, driver, and he's supporting and counselling injured drivers and stuff with good help. So thanks, Dave, for coming along. And everyone else, Keith, Frank, these guys that have written submissions to the Senate inquiry, it's important that they hear this evidence from drivers directly, and even if it's evidence that's sensitive nature and stuff like that, which is why Glenn's here to pass on how we get that sensitive information without getting us into trouble with the law and stuff like that. So I'd like to thank everyone again for coming. I'll leave the floor open for Graham to introduce Glenn.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve. First ran into Steve, I think it was Anzac Day?
2012.
There you go. Yeah, and I have my name tag on, and he involved me up. I was happy to be involved with supporting his great campaign. I am the local member for this area. Got elected in 2007, was part of the Labor government that actually brought in, facilitated a process where safe rates came in, and sadly I've been in opposition with Glenn to watch the dismantling of that process. I've got something a little bit similar to Glenn. Glenn obviously being a Western Australian senator, but he's got a connection to Parliament House in that he actually delivered stuff to Parliament House when they were building it. And my brother was working on the cranes there when they were constructing Parliament House, actually. So that's when I first heard about Glenn. He's been a great advocate for all of Australia, obviously, but particularly when it comes to looking after the transportation industry. A very active member of a couple of parliamentary committees, and he's come a very, very long way from a strange land called Western Australia. So please make Senator Glenn Sterle welcome.
Well, guys and girls, thanks very much. And I just want to go through a couple of my favourite subjects. One's truck and the other one's myself. Just sort of throw that in for the brothers who think it is this down here. Sorry guys, but look, clearly I'm a truck driver. We're 3 generations of truckies in WA. For those of you who do know me, you've heard the story many times. I didn't ask to go to Parliament. I was tapped on the shoulder and said, would you go? I said, no, thank you. Then I was asked again, would you go? Because we want someone to start doing some trucking work. I said, sure, okay. 15 years ago, by June the 30th, I'm glad I said yes and finally went in. I've known Frank for all those years. But guys, clearly you see, as it is, I left school, couldn't wait to leave school. Could not wait to leave school. I wanted to be a truck driver. The old man was a truck driver, my son's a truck driver. We're all long distance. My young bloke's still employed pulling triples up north. I was pulling road trains between Perth and Darwin. I was lucky I was owner driving at the age of 20. By the time I hit 31, I went over a grid somewhere between Halls Creek and Cunnadarra, a bit of brain fell back in. And I thought, what the hell am I doing out here? I've got a young family, I had a house mortgage, everything like you guys have got, but I was lucky enough that I had something to go to. And I want you all to be very clear to my path. My path was I was with Ansett Ridgeways. I was an offsider, and then Ansett Ridgeways in the good old days in the 70s when I started, you you had to have a union ticket or you couldn't get a new job. That's how it was them days. And as I progressed from being an off-sider to a company driver to a subby and got my first truck at the age of 20, I was the union delegate at 20. And I know some of you may have some bad experiences with union. I had good experiences when they wouldn't pay us and we all went on strike and then we became a strong yard. Anyway, that's the path that I took. But I'm saying that, guys, I was privileged in 2017 when Bill Shorten said to me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, Shadow Assistant Minister, raise safety, you've got to fix up the safe rates and do something, start working with the industry. Now, we all know the history, and I'll just put this to you guys. You know, and I know all the arguments, and what I said very clearly, if Labor had won the last election, and for those that know me well enough and have been working with me, I said we're going to do it. The RSRT would not be coming back, but something would be in its place where our transport industry, don't care what it's called, working together with serious, massive input from owner drivers, not the usual suspects being the big top end of town. Owner drivers have to be part of any decision that we make, and that's coming from an ex-owner driver myself. And I've been accused of being all sorts of things that I was going to do. When all is said and done, as an owner driver, my house was built as an owner driver, my kids were born when I was an owner driver, and I can tell you now, if it wasn't for my opportunity to break every law in Western Australia, I wouldn't have been able to build the house I did, because in the Wild West, long before I didn't run east-west, I probably did about 20 trips across the Nullarbor, and that was 21 trips too many. Because for the life of me, I thought, who the hell's going to tell me when I'm tired? Whose rules that say that I've got to go to bed when they say I've got to go to bed? I couldn't cop this logbook stuff. I'm saying that after I left, the trucks came off the road, then Western Australia would keep dragging and screaming into the national. Well, we had our own thing, because as an organiser with the TWU, I was working on the fatigue management. And to this day, I still have to put this question to owner drivers. How better off are we? And I say we, guys, forgive me, I always say we, because I still see myself part of the transport industry, and my connection with family is still there. Who can put their hand on their heart and say, trucks aren't getting any cheaper, fuel's not getting any cheaper, well, we have our spikes when they come down and then they're up again, insurance isn't getting cheaper, tyres aren't getting cheaper. Every time I went to Scanias, every bill had 4 zeros on it. That's before I used to go to Kenworth, so I got to Kenworth. I didn't know which was more frightening, what the breakdown was, what the part that needed to be replaced, and the bill I was going to cop. So I say this to you guys, in all the years we've been doing this, and there's so many passionate men and women in the transport industry, who can put their hand on their heart and say it's got better? No one. And who can put their hand on their heart and say, geez, we've been a magnificently united industry? We'll get on the CBs, or nowadays you don't have CBs, I think it's all the OTF, but whatever it might be. I can shut my eyes, I can write a book, and I can do a mini-series, and we'll go for years and years and years. And I can tell you every drama you have. And I can tell you that you discuss these dramas with your peers, with your mates, with your workmates, your neighbours, your wife, your husbands. It's the same problem. Of all the conversations I have with truck drivers now in my role as the Shadow Assistant Minister for Road Safety, incorporating something for truck drivers eventually, the same problems are still there. Well, you might have another piece of legislation, some other bullshit being brought up by pointy heads in bureaucracy, and some minister who's got no idea the trucking industry thought it's a great idea. When all is said and done, every time you put the key into the ignition, you're getting pinged. And I can't believe that the transport industry is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we've had 2,204 companies go into liquidation or go broke since the financial year 2013-14. And yet the dollars aren't coming back here. And I read all the emails, I read all the Twitter, I don't play much on it, I watch it, I sit back. But what I wanted to do was I thought enough is enough. And I had really hoped that the election result would deliver the opportunity for me to sit down with representatives from the transport industry. Not the ATA who can't wait to suck up to whoever's in government and tell them everything they want to hear. But I've got to tell you, there is huge movement around this nation. And I can tell you this from all my conversations. All the state bodies are now starting to say, well, hang on, nothing's got better. Nothing's been put in its place. When all is said and done, our dramas start and end at the top of the supply chain. My blue is not with company B that's trying to screw some C, D and E. That's a big problem. But a lot of it's driven from the top. And I have to tell you, and Graham will back me in here, there's nothing more sickening sitting in Canberra where I've been for nearly 15 years. To see, you can see the footprint marks in the carpet in all the ministerial wings, and trust me, we were in the ministerial wings there for 6 years, and you get the same usual suspects, the mining companies coming in saying, oh, aren't we fantastic, we employ so many people, we deliver all this money. You know what? And all this said and done, how the hell do they get the shit to the port? How do they get everything built? It's us. It's the trucking industry that carries this nation. I remember one of my first stickers I ever had on my first truck, Truckies Carry Australia. Then I found one at Millennium Bridge Roadhouse. I don't even know if Millennium Bridge Roadhouse is still there. And the other side of the truck had the sticker, Truckies are bloody sticker carry this country. That was 1977. Our problems are still the same. So hence I won't babble because I want to hear from you guys. And I want you to please don't look, there's a politician up the front who's saying do whatever he wants. No, I'm a truck driver who happens to be working in Canberra and have been for the last few years. And alongside with Graham and Co, part of my first speech is we've got to work better for the next generation. Well, as far as our trucking generations are going, I don't think there's anything to hang our hat on. This nation, there is no respect for the transport industry, the road transport industry in this nation. If anyone thinks that I'm just blowing wind out my backside, please stand up, because I'd love to know where you've got the respect, because it's not in the halls of Parliament. The halls of Parliament will love, or you'll have the politicians, and Graham will back me up on this, the ones who, oh my goodness me, I need a Kenworth, I need a bit of bling, I want to make an announcement because we're going to do something in drought, and they'll sit in the cab and they'll go, you know, and take photos. Is our trucking industry any better? Is it any safer? Is it any more sustainable? Is it any more rewarding? Is it any more healthier? Not at all. So guys, so we give you the opportunity. After the election loss, I had held, well, prior to the election loss, I pulled together a transport industry standards forum, to which I requested the representatives of the transport industry, ranging from top end of town, not a problem, Coles, Woolworths, Aldi, you be there too, national associations, state associations, TWU, owner driver representations. I said, all come in, let's start talking. I apologise for missing, because there's certain people in this room that should have been there. I didn't know who you were at the time. I said, come in, let's start talking about what are we going to do to make this industry, and I'll say this, I am not ashamed to use the word profit. Since when do I have to sit there, Graham and I, and listen to how wonderful and how everyone should be profitable? And you know, from our agriculture industry, and we've got nothing left in manufacturing, our airline industries have to be profitable, our miners have to be profitable, our pharmaceutical companies. Well, why can't us truckies be profitable? Why do we have to have this bullshit terminology where we go? We've got to be able to cost recover and not talk about profit. No, we've got to talk about profit. Because you know the same old thing, we're like ants. One falls over, there's another 4 or 5 waiting to take our spot. So what I did was I said very clearly, and I hold my hand on this, if there's a change in the next election, I will work with industry to develop, I don't care what it's called, a system that will deliver cost recovery legislation. So our trucking industry, not just own drivers, our trucking industry, from the family that might have 400 trucks to the one truck operator, has to be able to cost recover, and guess what? Get some profit. There also has to be laws in this land that if you don't do the right thing, someone gets a boot in the arse. What's wrong with that? If you guys, girls, you have a couple of beers and jump in one of these things and go riding up down the road, you get pinged. Ain't no one going to say, oh, you'll leave your game, right? So why is it all right for us to operate under fatigue management that's not in sync with our bodies anyway? Why is it we can only carry certain loads at certain speeds on certain roads? And if we break those rules, God help us. The stories I've heard coming out of this side of Australia, where truck drivers are pinged the equivalent of a week's pay because they didn't spell the name of the place where they stopped last night, right? This can't be true in Australia. This is what's happening. Frank, if I may use your example, mate, your registration sticker, what a load of bullshit that was. Yeah. Who was it? RMS rubbing their hands together? Yeah. No one's fallen over himself. So we poor bastard, the registration sticker sitting in his letterbox down in Adelaide, that we're going to ping him. So part of what I also want to do is I want to have compliance. Now we've heard lots of stories here, you know, you open up and there's a couple of high profile chefs that have been pinged because they've got, 300 staff and had them for 10 years and didn't know they'd underpaid them. Then you have other companies like banks saying, oh yeah, well we've done some things wrong, but we're self-confessing we could. What about the trucking industry? What about, where are the laws in this land to protect our truckies? The men and women in this nation that put all the hard yards into buying one of these buckets and nuts and bolts, please, let me say that, okay? To go out there and put, you know, the family home on the line, to be away at Christmas Day, Anzac Day, Easter, Christmas holidays, school functions, grandkids things. We don't whinge, it's our lot. We all took that. I had Christmas Day at home for 11 years as an owner driver. Same as you guys. Come in Christmas Eve, go on Boxing Day. You whinge, that was me lot in life. So why aren't we allowed to say, well hang on, not only that, we want to be safe, and we want to be rewarded, and we want to be paid. And if there's someone not doing the right thing, we want to protect them. So I want to work with legislation that says, if trucking company, stroke owner driver, stroke company driver, whatever, has done this work and is not paid, there has to be a legislative framework that says we're going to pull out a big stick, we're going to don the person on the head that has to pay them. What's wrong with all that? So it's the whole idea of a Senate inquiry. So what I did was I said, I worked with the industry and I said, look, we've got to shine some bright lights in some dark corners. We all know the problems. Each and every one of you can tell me all the same problems, different colours. You know how it all works. The whole idea is to have the Senate inquiry, is to try and unite our industry, to try and bring us all together in this nation. You will have owner drivers having this argument, and I know how you all work, and they'll be dispersed. There'll be issues around fatigue, there'll be issues around pay, there'll be issues around legislation. There's all the same problem. There will be companies who have the same arguments as you have. Yet we've never been able to get ourselves together to say, come on, we're all fighting for the same prize. We all got the same concerns. How are we going to do this? No government's going to come and give you a hand. But I can tell you one thing, as long as I'm in Parliament, this is my goal. Now, if we don't get to that, I'll tell you what will happen. Next election, I'll wish Graham and the younger ones good luck, great stuff, bye, chuck me kid on my back, I'm off. Great, I'm off to Bali, I'm going up there in the winter months. But you know what? I still think about my young bloke who's pulling triples up there, who's doing the right thing. He's a company driver, I'm not a driver. And I still see him and many others and their families who are losing work day in, day out to mobs who aren't doing the right thing. So we call for the Senate inquiry to try and highlight this. I have to tell you, and Graham knows this because our side put in. So I put it to Albo. No worries, go for it. Let's do it. We'll get out there and start working. Keep going. Got great support from One Nation. So Pauline was, and Senator Hanson and Malcolm Roberts, great, no worries. Got great support from Corey Banana, the independent from South Australia. And I haven't been in Canada for 7 or 8 weeks, I'm forgetting who the crossbench is. Jackie Lambie, magnificent, not a problem. And I know there's one more. Back you in. The government voted against it.
Yes, Senator Glenn.
Oh, Senator Alliance, sorry, I knew there would be someone else. Senator Alliance were great, thank you. The government not only did they say we won't back your inquiry into the trucking, the road transport industry, what they did, they made their senators stand up across the floor against it. So all the government senators living that cross voted against it. My line is, well, if everything's ticking, why would you vote against it? Their line was, we've got a record investment of $100 million, we're building better roads, so that should help the truckies out. What are you whinging about? Go away. And we've reinstated, we're going to reinstate the Office of Road Safety. And my line's no, how's it going to help our truckies? How are we going to be sustainable? How are we going to afford to pay our bills because you're going to build a road? I'm told this Toowoomba bypass is a magnificent piece of infrastructure, right, Steve?
It's bugging.
Right. I got a heads up on that one.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It was built by the lowest tenderer.
I can't find any other reason why. But I'm here to answer any prickly questions. But what I really want to do, and you've said, oh yeah, we've heard it all before, politicians will come and do it. No, we are absolutely dead set. And when we lost the election, and I spoke to Albo, and Albo said, get back out there, we're not going to let go. But I've said very clearly, I'm not doing it without the truck drivers. I'm not sitting in a boardroom in Linfox or Toll, and I'll use those because they're the two biggies. I'm not sitting in the offices of the Australian Trucking Association, never will anyway. I want to do it with the men and women who've got steel in their hands. Because you know what? You know all the problems, You know all the solutions, you know all the shortcuts, you've heard all the excuses, not you guys. We all know other reasons why things do happen and why they don't happen. Which, what I'm saying is very clearly, let's focus it here. For want of a better word, our energy should be targeted at the top of the supply chain. That's what we've got to push it. Because the three most insulting words that I can ever hear coming out when I was a truck driver was sharpen your pencil. The three most insulting, when you go out there, you haven't had a rate increase for 2 years, 3 years, fuel's gone through the roof, and you've got some peanut sitting there, straight out of school telling you to sharpen your pencil. So really, Steve, it's the way we want to do it, mate.
Yep.
Okay, let's open it up.
Yep.
I've said it very clearly to owner driver, look, and I'll tell you this. Does anyone here remember the Road Freighters Association? Okay, I'm working very closely with the Road Freighters Association. And Gordon McKinlay was the one that organised the convoy against it, and Gordon and I have become very close workmates. Because what we're saying very clearly, when we sit down and we put our machine guns down, and the word you got that hat on, or this hat on, or a union hat on, or the employer's hat on, as I said, we all want the same bloody thing. And while we're divided, I've got to tell you, as a politician, Graham, you don't have to admit to this. Only because I chair the Agriculture Committee and have done for the last 12 years. When an industry is fractured, oh, thank goodness for that. So much easier, we don't have to do anything. Good day, mate. How are you? So anyway, on that, Steve, I'll open it up.
Thanks.
For the floor. I've said to Steve, I've said to all owner drivers and organisations, I will travel the nation. I've got no problem going in, and I've had the attack of, oh, you're just a Gumby for the RSRT. No, I'll tell you what I am. I'm a Gumby for truck drivers, quite rightfully wanting to be safe, make a living, pay off their rig, put their kids through school. Why do we have to be second-class citizens? Why should we be expected to be at the bottom of the supply chain? Why do we have to be the bottom feeders? We're an integral part of this nation. We built this nation. Nothing in this nation moves without trucks. And as you all know, whether we eat, consume, drink, spend, buy, sell, at least 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 times of that product's development, making whatever, has been on the back of the truck. I'll shut up, open it up. Please don't hold back. I know you won't, right? Okay? Thanks, Steve. Thanks, mate.
Let's finish up before we let Glenn have a yarn with you. I was heavily involved in the Road Safety Remuneration Tribunal. I was the only individual employee applicant to apply. I had 2 applications in there. One was that all drivers would receive a danger money payment each day as a requirement because of the fatality rate. The latest study is 13 times the average is our fatality rate compared to any others. We're in the highest risk category for suicide, highest risk category to mental illness and health problems, and the list just goes on and on. Glenn will know from the evidence given by Jerry Brown, sir, in the 22nd November meeting, 9,074 people killed since 1980. That's my lifetime, and you only pick 45 people to a bus. So when you figure it out, the line of buses and people, it's just disgraceful. 5 guys killed in the first 3 weeks of this year, 3 in the first 10 days. And that's accepted by our community as being normal, and it's absolutely not. 150 guys killed every year, and obviously because of my work and how many guys I've met, I know a large percentage of these drivers that are getting killed. Probably the most recent one was Dane Ballinger, killed in a brand new truck on a brand new bit of road down there at Nambucca, and he signed the petition to recognise deaths in the transport industry, which I authored. Graham Parrott was here, I was signing it, I bailed him up, I said, "Can I sign my petition?" And he asked me what it was all about, and he was gracious enough to give me a lot of his time and hear me out, and that was important to me to have these federal politicians actually listen to someone like me. So with that, it was tabled in 2013 in the House of Representatives by MP Bert Van Mennen, and then I was invited by the petition committee to give evidence to support my petition, which I did. Went to Parliament House here, they came up and I gave evidence directly on Hansard with the exact figures of injuries, the exact figures of death, and all of these anecdotal evidence, like I've been injured off the road 3 times from crashes, not my fault, probably happened to a lot more. You guys, it's just crazy out there. 82% of truck driver fatalities are caused by other road users. And according to the latest ARDD figures, when you break down the 82%, you take out a couple for the weather, a couple for the road, a couple for medical issues. It's only, I believe, 6% of truck driver fatalities are caused by the truck driver. So these mitigating circumstances and factors need to be addressed, whether it be the 2,400 parking bays we're missing, which was from the burning of the Midnight Oil report in 2000. As you all know who drive, there's 200 parking bays short on the Pacific Highway, just on that one highway. I was talking to Rod Hannaford yesterday. He's in Alice Springs. He wanted to say sorry to everyone who couldn't make it, but Rod gave evidence to you, Glenn, at the 22 meeting, and you know, his estimates are over 2,000 parking bays that we need, and you can't expect drivers to adhere to 15-minute regulations when the parking bays aren't there, and this is the reason. There's the fine for a caravan pulling up in a truck parking bay is $114. Well, the 15-minute infringement for a truck driver is $660.
One.
661?
Yep.
600, well, there you go. So, you know, I can go and get a 50-foot caravan, put it behind me Prado, away I'll go up the highway, take your parking base. The caravan fees wouldn't be that much more than $114 fine. But the thing is, these drivers are given a sleeping area, 0.6 of a cubic metre. Right? Everyone knows the sleep berths are this wide, 63 centimetres high. That's it. I'll put it in my submission to the Senate that all of these caravanners get a 40-foot shed to sleep in, and we're out professional and you've got to sleep in this much room above a hot motor. And these are the things that thanks Barry for coming, Rodney, everyone. Glenn wants to hear all this stuff. Bring your stuff forward. Come to these hearings. Glenn's going to let me know when the hearing's on. We're going to publish that. We're going to get more guys to come along, and we're just going to give you his help. Bring all this evidence forward. And thanks for coming. Thanks for Graham and everyone, and also the staff here. Thanks.
Question, Steve.
Yep.
The Senate had put it to April or something like that, so I've gone back and said it's ridiculous, so we're going out to about October. If it takes longer, it takes longer. And so I got a disturbing message, I think Graham sent me a message, an SMS before I left Perth, saying that he rang up and wanted to put his submission in. The Secretariat said no. I said, ball dust, put it in. Keep them coming. Truckies are busy on the road, you've got a lot of things to do, and we're not having the Senate committee telling our transport industry that's it, we don't need, just give it a couple.
The media won't publish. I've talked to the Courier Mail, all of the local papers, and the television. They don't want to report that there's even a Senate inquiry on.
Yeah, sure.
And so it's taken word of mouth and social media to get just this group, which is pretty good for only 1 day's notice. So thanks everyone.
I think if I can, Steve, look, let's talk a little bit about it because it's stay here, buddy. And I'm mindful, I'm very mindful, that I know that there are a lot of truck drivers, and we won't put your faces or names to it, who are dying to tell me what's going on. But then there is the recriminations down the track. I know how it works. I'm happy to receive in confidence reports, guaranteed confidence. Your submission will not be published on the website. Your name will not be. I will have it all. Oh, absolutely, I'll have it all. And I've got no problem because I know some of the ratbaggery going on, and I'm encouraging people. You just talk about on the phone, I'll meet you face to face. I'll accept those. So we had the committee secretariat saying we won't wait a meeting in Canberra with the other senators saying, oh look, we're not going to accept these because they wouldn't put their name to it. So we will receive. I want them, and I know why that's happening. But I would just have to say this to you, Steve. When I come up here, so Graham Turner, I love your input here, mate, as well. But what I will be doing is that there will be hearings in every capital city of Australia. But I'm not silly enough to know that we can get to everyone. If I come to Brisbane, I can do all in one day. I can't. So we will extend whatever needs to be done. If I have to do 2 or 3 days of hearings in Brisbane, I will do 2 or 3 days of hearings in Brisbane. If it takes that I have to, and I'll hear the same story, don't worry, I'm not prepared, I need to do this. I'll do the same in Melbourne, I'll do the same in Sydney. I'm keen to do a few regionals too, which we spoke about, Steve, and hence when I had Rod and Jerry Brown Sarr and Gordon McKinley, and I had a couple of other drivers who just scratched it.
It's got a few more.
Yeah, that's right, down in, what was that?
Albury.
Sorry, I've been everywhere since then. But down in Albury, I will do those rural ones. And so I'm saying that, but with parliamentary privilege, you're only protected by parliamentary privilege when you're talking to the Senate committee on the Hansard. So if you come out and you say that scumbag out there in Acacia Ridge, that dirtbag, you know, they're carting drugs around, they're subsidising the transport with carting drug. I can't protect you. Say it in the transport, say it in my committee, you're protected. So just a very, very mindful. I want to encourage you to.
Because just give you an idea. Quite a few years ago, I did it in the state.
You were doing in the state?
I was doing it in the state. Second the last time I came out of Melbourne, early in the morning, I pulled into the Forbes radio Raspberry. And there's all this fucking luggage and shit all over the floor. There's only one person. What the hell's going on here? Got my breakfast after the wash the toilet. Sitting down and he came and said to me, "What are you eating, bro?" So I'm eating prison. Any chance I can get a lift with you? Two up, run all the way through if that works for you. Didn't hurt me, it was good on me else. So anyway, I put all this gear in and said, "I'll tell you what's happened." He said, "Behind the Forbes Roadhouse," and everybody here knows how big the Forbes Roadhouse is. There's not a fucking lot of room. There's a big up, brand new Volvo beat up, comes into Fred van, parked behind him. He said, "I've got the deal of a lifetime to get myself paid by the boss." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I owe 6 weeks' wages, and there's $1 million loan on the full Tasmanian salmon."
Full what?
Tasmanian salmon. Right? Just coming out of Melbourne. Full loan. So we got all the way to Melbourne, to
Forbes.
Came to Arabin from Forbes, and he finally got hold of this bugger. Money had finally been put in his bank, he told where it's getting. He said, "Now you find the fucking truck."
Yeah.
These wage theft issues, not being paid wait time, not being paid your holidays on your complete hours work, which I put in my application 2014-1 to the RSRT, that you get paid holidays, super, and all your entitlements and all your hours work. Because they say, "Oh, we're going to pay you on 38 hours, but we're illegal to work 144 a fortnight." Right? You're allowed to work 80 hours a week, so half of it you don't accumulate any entitlements, which is a rip-off. Right? You're working for free, you're unloading for free, you're not getting paid all these entitlements. We're propping up the national economy. Every one of you that doesn't get paid $100 a day, you put that across 208,900 truckers in Australia, that's how much we're propping up the national economy. They rip us off. It comes up to, "Oh, there's a crash, mandatory blood test." They don't report the results of the test when they know that 0.01% test positive, because drugs have been stamped out in the industry because it's one of the things they can hammer down on. They hammer down on these little defects, they hammer down on all this stuff, but they won't hammer down on the drivers getting killed. Well, the spinal injuries, the decapitations, the guys that losing legs, guys that losing arms, guys that losing their sight, guys that been burnt. And Chris Jorgensen, he's come to talk to you. Chris, he's got a submission, he had his leg smashed off. Because he was in Victoria, doesn't get TAC, so they put him under work cover. Work cover doesn't want to pay for it, so he's jammed in hospital and his missus is 500 kilometres away, can't visit him. These are the issues that are under death and other related things, right? The social and economic costs of what happens. And this is what happens when you get injured on the side of the road, when you have a crash, in the ambulance, "Oh mate, can I have some pain relief?" "Sorry mate, got to take your blood first before we give you some morphine." You get down there, yeah, they do take your blood, then they give you some morphine, kick you out the door. That's it, find your own way home. If your employer hasn't got enough coin to buy your plane ticket, you find your own way home. It's a common thing. When, you know, you expect to get over the line and make some money, but if you don't know, shit happens. And these are the attitudes and stuff that needs to be changed in the industry from top to bottom. And it means that drivers send an email, you just write an email, rat.sen@aph.gov.au, send it to Glenn, he'll invite you, come on record. There's a lot of people that couldn't make it today because yesterday was a public holiday and you know, everyone's got back to work here. With the bushfires and all roads closed, well, the Nullawar's closed for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The Princess Highway's been closed for 3 weeks. The Golden Highway was shut for 3 weeks because of that fuel tanker rollover. The fuel tanker rollover on the M1. All the Rob here with the Bruce Highways.
Don't forget the Bruce Highways.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Dave Barrett was killed in front of me in 2012 on that road at Bilby. It hasn't been redesigned or redeveloped or anything. It's still the same. There's nothing being done. So from Dave Barrett in 2012 to Dane Ballinger in 2019, you know, when I applied to the RSRT after I had the petition, Anthony Albanese and Bill Shorten both gave me letters sending me to the RSRT. So I went to the RSRT with my letters, my application. 4 fucking years I was there. Keith came with me, Sweeney was there, Frank was there. You know, we went all these meetings, all these barristers, they argue all this bullshit. Meanwhile, there's drivers getting killed. And I would go frustrated and said, there's 40 being killed. The next meeting there'd be 50 killed. And they did not get one iota of care. And it's the same thing as when they repealed this legislation. As far as I'm concerned, they must have threatened the senators to make them just throw it out without even a review. Then they held an inquiry. I wasn't invited. I was the only employee to apply. Well, why couldn't they invite me and get the word? Because they don't want to hear the word. They're corporate masters of the Australian Logistics Council, which is Boeing, IBM, Coke, all these ones. BlueScope, the whole lot, Amazon. That's why we lost it. They got billions of dollars.
But don't forget also, just quickly, that the LNP and a couple of independents at the time saw political capital, right?
Oh, of course.
The LNP is saying we really care about mums and dads truckers, right?
Yeah.
Where have they given it like a rat's ass about us ever since? Right? And where did all the money go that was supposed to go to the RSRT? What did it go into?
It went to the National Motor Vehicle Regulator.
No, it went to more cameras.
More
Right?
cameras.
So now we get more enforcement, more cameras, right? And that's where the money went.
Well, while the fatality rates increased since 2016, it's proof and testament that the Road Safety Remuneration Order number 1, which was created in 2014, which gave drivers their rights, whistleblower protection, minimum 30-day payment, right? Drivers were given a contract, set out their rights and responsibilities, and transport companies had a drug and alcohol policy. Now, how can the government say that it's not about safety if they're removing mandatory drug and alcohol policies? If they're removing driver contracts, they're removing whistleblower protections. And this is what. These road safety remuneration orders are the greatest power ever given to truck drivers to say no to unsafe work practices and to put their foot down and say no more. And what you'll find is, if you look at the figures from 2012 to 2014, at the implementation of Road Safety Remuneration Order number 1, 2014, the fatality figures started to go down. It put downward pressure on the fatality statistics. It's proven. I gave the evidence to the RSRT, proving it. And so that's why they pushed it through. And they pushed my application into these other work programs. Now, I don't know if you read my
I'm not reading your submission to the day before you
Okay.
appear, because I've got trucking brain,
So
which I forget.
you can imagine, it's a couple of owner drivers on this side and that many barristers on that side. Woolworths had one, Coles had one, Toll had one, Linfox had one, NRA, RDO, Australian Federation of Employees, and they all put their hand up every time, oh, we've got to stop this, right? And so I begged the union, please take my submission, take my application and go with it. I don't want to be here anymore. It's bullshit. And they said, mate, we need you here. you're the only one coming here sticking it to them, telling them the numbers, and I wouldn't upset them and flick their switches and away they'd go, getting them all upset. But then the 2016 rates, the rates, minimum rates order. And here's the thing, Tim Squires was the elected industry representative that sat on the RSRT, and he is waiting for, Glenn's going to get over him, get him in and get his evidence about what happened. Because he took a rate calculator around the whole industry, and it's like multiple, 30 days of meetings. And everyone said yes. We went back to the RSRT and the supply chain got up and said, oh, we don't agree with those figures. Right? So then the TW engaged Transeco to do a full set of figures. They did that, we had arbitrated meetings and conferences and facilitated hearings for another 12 months, while another 150 guys got killed. And the supply chain said they didn't agree with those costs. So then they had another go at KPMG.
Oh, Steve, what? Just,
Yep.
I think we get all the.
But the thing is that drivers back then were invited to come along, but they didn't understand what it was. They didn't know what was going on, and the corporate media wouldn't allow us to report it. They wouldn't allow us to write a reply to share the information out there. So I've sent it to Glenn, and Rob has stuff, and Graham Garner's got another 700 pages of stuff, so that everyone's going to be in the know about exactly who got
But what I'm trying to say
blamed
is,
by